Hey, it's me, Albatross. Uh, oh my god, everything. Uh, the floodgates have opened. Yup, us conspiracy theorists are starting to get vindicated one day at a time. I don't even know what to say. I had a lot to say, but I'm just gonna let this play. And I'm gonna think about what I'm gonna say. Oh my gosh. But first I will say, stay tuned. I've got that CPS Riverside CPS investigation coming and it's bad. Okay. Anyways, but back to this nonsense. And I do have to explain. Maybe some of you are wondering what this has to do pertaining to children, but considering that someone claiming to be 13 years old was raped horribly by these people, I'd say it's pretty relevant. So I'm gonna see what they've got to say.
Okay. Yeah, listen. You know who you're talking to. This isn't Sean Atwood. Okay, but you know what they're
talking about Beyonce, by the way.
Right? Yeah,
they're talking about Beyonce. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I know where we're going. I'm gonna say some things that's probably never been heard on the internet before.
And here we go.
When it comes to
Oh, by the way, I just started listening to this. I only heard the first part, but yeah. Okay, sorry.
Sean Carter's wife. Are you familiar with something called a writer? A writer is something that an artist is pretty much their demands before they show up to any event. Okay. Beyonce's writer is probably the most extensive writer I've ever seen. Before she shows up there, they have to burn certain candles with a certain scent for a certain amount of hours before she'll show up. They have to put up a certain type of curtains made by a certain type of linen in the room over the windows before she shows up. Yeah, I mean, that is obviously completely ritualistic. I mean, there's no other way of putting it.
Let him finish. You know?
She had a Hennessy smoothie machine. Like the Hennessy was a Slurpee machine, but it made like Hennessy infused drinks. This is something that doesn't even exist. They had to get it made for her to come there. Now, what I'm about to say right now is going to be.
Listen.
It's gonna be.
I don't know. I don't know what he's about to say. I'm watching this in real time. I don't know what he's about to say. So much has been said the last couple of days.
It's gonna be exigent circumstances for myself because I don't talk about this type of stuff, but there's a person that travels with her who is, I believe, her spiritual protection realm person. I heard this person say, if they try to watch you, all they're going to see is black. They'll never really know what happens around you.
What? Wow.
So when she said, if they try to watch you, I didn't get the vibe of this is like typical surveillance. This is the realm that our good friend Beverly operates in. 100%. And just to be clear, if you guys want to even just check, if you go back to the Sean Atwood channel, I think it was the second or third time that Beverly was here.
What?
She delved into exactly that. She tried to view Beyonce, and it was effectively this large black car-like blockage.
What?
It's wild. It really, really is. And Big Homie's doing what he's doing. Big Homie and I have been working on some content together that does
okay,
a little more into the
hold So if I get what they're saying correctly, those allegations and those lawsuits where everyone thought that that woman was crazy, accusing her of like witchcraft, like, and listen, I'm not even saying, look, I'm not even gonna say that it's possible necessarily, but apparently Miss Beyonce thinks it is. Apparently, these, according to Allie Carter, these celebrities definitely think it's possible. Now I have yet to hear someone say like a result of this, like what, like the end result, if you know what I mean. I have yet to hear like if they lift someone in the air, like with their mind, like if it's Jedi, like I haven't really heard like what this magic they're trying to do. I mean, other than the general idea of trying to influence all of us, I guess. But like I think they got duped. I think Beyonce got duped. I think they all got duped. But I guess that's what money does. Just like those Scientology people, they got duped. I mean, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe there is something to it. I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna keep listening. I mean, I know these guys get into like big conspiracy theories and stuff and like that, and I'm a conspiracy theorist too. But they really get out there, and I ain't even saying they're wrong. I just, yeah, I don't really watch their channel much. I mean, I like them and all. They seem cool. But I'm gonna finish this one though, for sure. And oh yeah, there. I hit the like.
All the things that we're touching on this evening. But big homie, let me just recap this. So what you're saying is that Jay-Z's wife, Beyonce, has a individual that travels with her that seems to be spiritual, demonic protection, warlock, whatever, insert whatever word you want, so that you feel comfortable with the narrative. But we're talking about something that a lot of people are still in denial about, and that is the battle between the forces of good and evil, really. This person was dressed in all black, kind of like the lady that you had showed me. Michelle. And then when that convoy pulled up, this person was in her own SUV. She had people carrying her bags. She had a roll of, I believe it was sage. She lit on fire, and I guess she did a blessing on the room. They say they use sage to what's that?
Well, here's my question though. Here's my question. Like that is what she does. Why does she? Like, because the only reason, I know that there was a lawsuit not long ago alleging this. But, like, why is, like, apparently this is what she does, because since that one lawsuit, there's been multiple people saying this about her. I mean, even Allie said it. So, I mean, but what I want to know is if it's not, like, dark or anything like that, why not, like, there's plenty self-proclaimed witches. So why not just admit it? Like, why all the secrecy, like, about it? Like, maybe it's not, your typical Wiccan. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. I know big homie CC here, though. He's pretty credible, though. Listen, one thing for sure, the security guard's gonna know some stuff. For sure. And especially, like, when it comes to, like, these, like, shady transactions, like, with children and things like that. I'm sure they've seen stuff. I mean, they had to have. There's no way around it. It's a lot of things. Yeah. Yeah, there was sage being burnt. I get uncomfortable when I talk about this type of stuff because Can I show you the picture of a woman and just ask you if this is, I mean, I'm going to show you, right? Sure. It's not this woman, is it? Marina Abramovich!
Let me give you another. I mean, you don't have to answer. I mean, I just want to know, because this individual she's serious,
incredibly dark,
and Beverly can vouch for that. It's a serious individual, and there's a video I just seen flirting around on X with that lady and Sean Carter. Did you see it?
Yeah, they know each other. No, listen. They know each other. They've got dealings with each other. This woman's linked to the Sackler family. Did anybody want to know who the Sackler family? Does anybody give a shit who the Sackler family is? I know I sure do. The Sackler family were basically responsible for this whole, like, gosh darn epidemic of drugs we're having with pills and everything else. Yeah, that family. I don't even want to say, like, but yeah, and she's connected to them. She was doing several science experiments with them. Oh yeah, I've got receipts to back this up. Someone questioned me about it. I dare you. Someone want to come in my comments, accuse me of not being able to read, question me about this. Trolls. Lady with a lot of people in the sphere and Hollywood. It's insane, brother. But when we talk about Beyonce, we talk about we're top of the pyramid here when it comes to they all suck her dick. The regular person who is in sight within the regular people, she's the top of the pyramid for that level of a lot of things. And her level of darkness, allegedly, oh my god, like everyone about Beyonce, we love you so much. Please don't kill us. Yeah, it's so weird and creepy. Off the chart. I mean, I'm talking about his wife, but this lady here, she is probably because of her. She is. There's something about that woman for sure. She says that allegedly this is somebody who does things where you would consume, the forbidden flesh, if that makes sense, of very young people. Yeah, those pictures, and okay. Quick story. I was trying to bring awareness to Allie's story. I sent a message to a certain influencer that I'm not going to say who it was, of this Marina Abramovich at one of her art exhibits. And she just said, yeah, well, that's a public picture. Okay. But, like, oh, if you don't, it was the picture of, like, her, Lady Gaga, and, like, a dead body in that thing. Oh, yeah, it was supposed to be art. It wasn't supposed to be, I'm sorry, an unalive body. It wasn't supposed to be real. According to Allie Carter, it was, though. And they were actually eating her. According to Allie Carter and her mom. So, not me. I wasn't there. I don't know. I know that was, like, one of the most disturbing photos I've ever seen. Fake. Even if it was fake, I don't know. Like, that. That's both. Either scenario is just as disturbing. Sorry. And, yeah, these people are absolutely demonic. Absolutely demonic. And I think that's always been another thing we've all always known. I know, I'm talking too much. It's been a long day. Keep going, big homie. I want to hear what you got to say about this lady in particular. Ron, things do go bump in the night. Yeah. We're just going to go ahead and get into it. So, yes, please, someone. My 10,000 hours that I put into this, I believe there are 3 different groups. There are people that are way darker than that lady. I'll tell you that much. I'm sure. The Sacklers, for one. But you know what, for me, right? Just take a breath. This lady I'm showing you now, there's a lot of people who I can tell you now would come across. Dude, please let big homie talk. Like, I hate it when these, they're like about to tell you something that that like we need to hear, that we need to hear this. We need to hear this stuff. And then focus on the wrong things. Just focused on the
looking way more evil, more dark. He may do things, but I can guarantee you, try and look at most of that as almost like a showing off for attention to get a leg up, because there is this. The buck almost is serious. And for example,
how are you gonna bring someone on here and not let them talk? Please let this man talk.
You knew what this was going to be about. All right, listen. Do you know what I'm saying? You knew what this was going to be about. This is an investigation more than an interview. You know it.
So
along my path, I've had to do my own sorts of investigations several times. It's going to get dark right now.
Yes. Okay. Please. Thank you. Let him talk.
There are groups, there are entities that operate within the realm of Hollywood where they proposition you things in exchange for success.
Yeah. No shit.
I was the bodyguard for a gentleman who was a very popular artist. One time at an event, he was approached. He got approached by a gentleman that gave me a very eerie feeling. He was about 5'9", blonde hair, blue-eyed gentleman, probably in his late 50s. I noticed that he had a Vacheron Constantine watch on. That watch is probably worth about $3-4 million. He took the watch off and he set it on the table and he adjusted his cufflinks before he spoke to me. Before he spoke to the artist I was with.
Oh my God, I think I know who he's talking about. I'm not going to say who though.
He said, "You've been pretty successful. Without you knowing, we've helped you along the way. But for us to continue to help, you need to work with us." Something about this gentleman was very eerie. He didn't blink.
I know who he's talking about too.
It's almost as if he was like I just got like a vampirism, cannibalistic vibe from this guy. Like he would eat people alive. And I noticed that to have a watch on almost $3 million, no security, no one's with him. Everybody pretty much was on his every beck and call throughout this event. And when the artist I was with politely declined his help, he was smug. He had a pretty crass response. He said, "Well, good luck to you, young man." He walked away. That artist never went platinum again.
I bet not.
Never released another album.
Please don't nobody act surprised. We've all known this.
Immediately after this. And he always said to me, he said, "You know what, bro? I wish I would have worked with that creepy dude."
Why?
Now, this lady who you keep showing me, she was there at this event, and him and her weren't kind to each other. They were not kind. They were not kind to each other. They were not kind to each other at all.
My bad.
They had a slight verbal altercation. And I seen this gentleman do like this to her. I don't know exactly what this means. I've done research on it. I've seen, I know it's a sign of disrespect. I know it's a slight. And it was at that moment I knew, I said, oh, there are different groups. Oh, yeah. Who compete with each other to recruit different talent. Yeah, and I'm not gonna take
Wait a minute.
The narrative too wild.
Oh my God, that would make so much sense. That would make so much sense because there always do seem to be competing agendas. That makes sense, actually.
But you know yourself with talking to Beverly, there is so many aspects to what we have no understanding of. And these individuals, when you touch on vampiric and things like that, it's that vibe of unnatural.
Okay, my guess. Does anybody want to know? Probably an alien. What else could it be? I mean, I don't know. See, look, that's just opinion too. Just throwing my opinion out there. But I mean, makes more, makes a lot of sense, right?
Their vibe isn't what you would expect from a human, effectively, if that's what you're feeling. I'm not saying he's not human. I'm just saying, dark souls, dark energies, you can feel it. You feel it, I say this with every fiber in my being. I do not believe that all of these people are typical flesh and blood human beings.
What did I tell you?
100% want to just say I completely endorse that mindset. 100%. Okay, if we are talking about individuals that are so influential and powerful that they just appear and disappear from no security and they're not caught on camera and no one sees them and all this kind of stuff. There's more to this bloodline story than anyone could ever fathom. And when we start talking about the possibility of more than just, that's probably a better way of putting it for people in the side chat, more than just human. That is 100% fathomable. And if you want to go fully from a legal point of view, the American...
you know what? And I just want to say something else, too. It kind of makes sense what I said about Britney Spears, too. You notice there was a time, it was like at a party or like one of those award shows or something. And then it was just like, after that, it was like the press ate her alive. And then maybe they saw an opportunity, like with her family, to like just get control of her anyway, whether she wanted to or not. I mean, because she was a huge moneymaker for them. Like, think about it. Like, that web, like, go check out BJ Investigates. Like that whole web that she was putting together. Or like when she was talking about like the Britney Spears industrial complex. And like, think about it. I think these people are the same. They've got to be. They're the same ones that are like, I don't know whether they're human, alien, whatever they are. They're the same ones responsible for these children. Same ones. Well, even if they're not responsible, they could do something about it, but they don't. So they must be responsible. I think they're the ones directly ordering these people. I'm sorry. I mean, look, all opinion again, but whew. Man, this was a lot. I was not expecting all this, man. Usually everyone's all cryptic. Yes. Love it when people actually come honest, but in a way I'm kind of worried about them now.
Somewhere in America, there's been this whole legal thing with the UFOs, and more than once they've confirmed that the government has been speaking to non-human entities, non-human life forms. I heard it myself, and Big Homie is nailing it here. He's absolutely hitting the nail on the head.
Yep.
And when it comes to DNA and things like this, for those of you who may not know, in the human DNA structure, there's a lot of what people call DNA.
Dude.
And there's theories.
Let him talk, please.
That I've got a lot of evidence behind it. That junk DNA is foreign, off-world DNA that has been placed within us as almost like a secret. And this Sunday, we're doing Big Homie's off-world DNA analysis on the show. So it'd be great to have you there. Listen, you all want me to let him speak? I'm letting him speak. I've got to do my job as well. Everyone relax. Ever since I began, operating, with you, Beverly, Sean Atwood. Yeah. So I've had the flu now. I've had flu symptoms now for 27 days. And I don't find it a coincidence that I'm, taking antibiotics. It's not really working. I receive maybe 5 Instagram calls a week where when I answer it, it's different ladies who just say a quick prayer or protection prayer over me and they just hang up. reaching the end of the line when it comes to my pathway on this because, I'm concerned for my soul because I've had to exact evil upon evil people uh, in the name of light. Now, in my first Cam Capone interview that's at 1 million views now, I referred to a group of people as vampires because that's what they seem like to me. I do know that there is a group of them who only come out after a certain time of night. I do know there's a group of them who believe that they are descendants of the person that the story Dracula was derived from.
What?
I know that they are passionate about having their foot on people's necks. They really believe that it's their bloodline's right to rule over others. And I know that Sean Carter's wife has a spiritual person that travels with her to try to protect her from people that have ESP abilities so that when they try to view her, they see black and darkness. I know this to be facts. I don't believe it's a coincidence that our paths have aligned. I'm always prepared for a catastrophic event. So, whenever I'm doing these interviews, I got people outside. I'm always listening for any sound. I've been ambushed before. I've had attempts on my life.
Yeah.
I always said I fought evil. Back in 2018, I was involved in a violent cataclysm. Some people lost their life. And I would always hashtag fight evil. And people never really knew what that was about. But I knew before I became a parent and before I got into any serious relationship, I would have to put an end to this path. And I said when it was time, I would come to my story. And I would have to depend on other warriors in the light like yourself to continue this fight because it's necessary, but it's different groups. It's different.
100.
Oh my God. I hope he's not saying what I think he's saying, guys. I hope not. I love this guy. I mean, you don't understand. Go watch his interviews, but you may think he's sounding crazy now, but this is actually a very intelligent person, a credible person. So, yeah. I hope that's not what he's saying.
I need to talk to you, man, for a second. So, when you mentioned your soul there, right? A very, very quick analysis of this is people like you and myself, and I'm going to throw John Wedger in there as well. None of us choose to do what we're doing. It's like we were guided or chosen or put on a path. And I was doing a paranormal investigation where a spirit box came out of my pocket and a voice came through and said, "Your soul is protected." It was the first thing it said. And I think that's what comes with being on this path, is that gift that our souls are protected. And I just want you to know that. People are saying my sound is bad. Let me know. I mean, I'm using a pretty good setup.
Right, and this is a good point to stop and yeah, I might do a part 2 and just post that other video tomorrow. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do because my mind's reeling. Like, I just know this is connected to these children. I know it is, guys. Just bear with me on this. I feel like it's connected. If I'm wrong, I'll be the first to apologize, but I think it is. All right, have a good night.